He's there, the Phantom of the Opera. Hello my lovelies, it's Fallon here with the Broadway Book Tag, and this is a book tag that was created about 2 months ago by JHT Books, and I will link the original video in the doobly-doo, except I'm going to add the shows that I've been in with this book tag because I do what I want. In the Phantom of the Opera, clearly I was the Phantom of the Opera. And so this is the first question in the book tag anyway, so that's why I put on my Phantom of the Opera shirt. Probably gonna change shirts throughout this because I'm a rebel. Question for the book tag is a book with a villain who's past the point of no return, but you love them anyway. And my absolute favorite villain of all time is Tom Riddle Jr. from the Harry Potter series, and I know he's not gonna get saved ever, but I freaking love Tom Riddle Jr. I am hardcore Tom Riddle Jr. fan. Give me all of Tom Riddle Jr. All of that. Next Broadway musical is Les Mis, and this means your favorite historical book. At the end of the day, this book can't be beat for historical awesomeness. Now, I have two for this, just because one is historical fiction and one isn't fiction, and I didn't really know whether you're supposed to do fiction or non-fiction, so I just picked two. Fiction, it's The Dark Days Club by Alison Goodman, and this book was awesome for historical fiction. It was so good! Oh, I love this historical fiction. The historical awesomeness is key in this book, and it is there. It is there. But if we were supposed to do an actual historical novel or something that happened in the past, I chose a biography, and it's called The Serial Killer Whisperer, and I really love this biography. It's a really good biography. You should read this biography. Unless you're not into gore, then don't read this biography. But at the end of the day, this book's worth. The musical is Aida. So this is your book OTP. Two characters whose romance is written in the stars. Very first time I haven't wanted to marry either the narrator or their significant other because I just feel like they're perfect together. And usually I'm like, no, I'm perfect for that person. But in this case, I think that Levi and Kath are perfect for each other in Fangirl. They are my actual book OTP, and I am so happy I read this because I wouldn't have been able to answer this question without it. Levi and Kath, I ship you to the end of the world. Well, actually it's like the moon and back because it's written in the stars. Shirt change, and this one is Aladdin. So this is the first one that I'm adding into this book tag. So this is the silliest book you have ever read that takes itself fully seriously, just like the genie. For me, that book was Dragonology. And this is the complete book of dragons with even like Norse writing on the top. I remember people had like all of these books. And like, look how seriously this book takes itself. It's like, oh look, there's a dragon skin. And this was like a great children's book, and I took it seriously when I read it. I was like, dragons, I know everything. I know everything about all the different types of dragons. I know about their physiology, and I know about how they meet, and I know all about dragons all the time. Dragons. It's the silliest book I think I've ever read. I reread it the other day and I was like, oh my god, what? 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 The next musical is Wicked, and this is an overhyped book that's just way too popular. It is so popular. And this was a good book, but it wasn't worth the hype for me. It was just too overhyped. It was a good book, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't amazing. It wasn't life-changing. And that was Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. Please don't hate me, but this book was just overhyped as hell. And I get that it's popular, but it doesn't add anything new and amazing to my life. So for me, it's just popular. Next musical is Hamilton, and this is a book you found that was really fresh and unique. A book where the author totally didn't throw away their shot. I'm not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. And for me, that was easy. Queen of the Cheerleading by Erica Johansson. This book was so different from anything else I've ever read. It is so good. If you haven't read this book, pick it up. Please don't be like me. Don't come late to the game. This book, show up at the game, please. Because this was just so different. I thought it was historical fiction when I first picked it up. It is not historical fiction. It is everything you ever need in life. It is so good and so worth it. Read this book. And the next musical is another one I'm adding, Beauty and the Beast, that you've forgotten and ended up falling in love with when you rediscovered it. And I realize it doesn't really fit with the show fully, but the Beast gets forgotten about for a long time, so I just feel like this counts. That is the Tapestry series by Henry H. Neff. And I only own The Hound of Rowan, but this book, I forgot how much I love this book. It's middle grade fantasy, and it is so worth it. Forgot how much I loved it. The next musical is The Lion King, a book you remember fondly from your childhood. A book that helped you be prepared for the chance of a lifetime, or just your future reading technique. And for me that had to be a series because I read it all at the same time as a kid. And it was a series, so it's Gobelino and the Witch's Cat, The Adventures of the Little Wooden Horse, and then Gobelino the Witch's Cat and The Little Wooden Horse. And these books are amazing. They're so cute. And I forgot that I had them, and then I looked in my closet and I was like, oh yeah, this book just... Oh, I remember loving this, and I remember I read it right before I read Harry Potter, and so this has a lot of fond memories for me. It's definitely a really fun read. If you're looking for a kid's book, this is it. This is a great kid's book, and they're so pretty. And look, they go together so nicely. The next musical is Oklahoma. And this is a book that takes place in your own country, state, area, etc. Whether that be Oklahoma, Kansas City, or somewhere in between. Yeah, I only have one book that takes place even in Ontario in general. And it's a history book. It's about the area. But I figured it counts anyway. And so this is the 100 Best Great Lakes Shipwrecks. And I have Volume 2, Lake Michigan and Lake Superior. Here, this one was a good one, and there's a shipwreck that's literally right down the road from me. So this is the book that takes place where I live. I don't really know a lot of Canadian books. I have like one book by a Canadian author, so I just had to go with this because this is Canada. Musical is Newsies, a book that you are currently reading and carrying the banner for. And right now I am not even started A Darker Shade of Magic, but I figure by the time I get this edited, I will be on The Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. And I haven't started it yet, so I can't tell you if it's great, but I'm fairly certain that it is going to be great. And if I'm not reading this by the time this gets up, I'll be reading A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab, which is... So I'm reading one of these two books by the time this gets uploaded. Third musical that I've added is Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, and for me that was a book with the biggest underdog story, because Joseph is a major underdog story, right? So for me, that is The Mysterious Benedict Society. It's all of these kids who've come together from totally different walks of life and have had a really hard time because they are really intelligent people. And they're children. And it's them discovering themselves by undertaking these tests and then getting to work with Mr. Benedict. And this is a great book and has a great underdog story. So definitely check that out if you're looking for something fun like that. Also, it's a trilogy. The next musical is Rent, and it's a book that took you ages to finish. In fact, 525,600 minutes. And this one actually probably took me closer to 1 million minutes. And that's The Book of Amazing History. I read this book for 2 years before I finished it. And this book was actually amazing. I quote random stuff from here all the time to my friends. They think I'm really smart. I just read this book. It's a fat book. It's got a lot of pages. It's got like 700 pages, and it's just random information about history. One which I am working on. You'll see in the TBR tag if you want to check that out. I'll leave a thing on the screen here. And yeah. And the last musical is The Sound of Music. A book you'd like to give a shout out to before you say so long, farewell, Avitas, and good night. I hate to go and leave this happy sight. And for me, that is always The Inheritance Cycle by Christopher Paolini. This is one of my favorite book series of all time, and I always give it a shout out, even if I don't mean to. It's so good. It's a beautiful book series. There's a map on the inside. You know how I feel about maps, guys. Appreciate the series, love the series, read the series if you haven't read the series. So that is all for my musical tag. The fall of musicals. I was also in Oliver. Oh, I was scared about that one. Didn't love it, guys. Didn't love it. As always, I'm Fallon. If you want to check out any of my stuff, it's in the doobly-doo down below. And if you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up. And I will see you all next weekend. So thanks for hanging out with me, guys.